Hi, this is Mike. I'm reading Robert Alter's translation of Genesis. This is chapter 32. And Laban rose early in the morning and kissed his sons and his daughters and blessed them. And Laban went off and returned to his place. And Jacob had gone on his way, and messengers of God accosted him. And Jacob said when he saw them, "This is God's camp." And he called the name of that place Mahanaim. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother in the land of Seir, the steppe of Edom. And he charged them, saying, "Thus shall you say, to my lord Esau, thus says your servant Jacob, with Laban I have sojourned, and I tarried till now. And I have gotten oxen and donkeys and sheep and male and female slaves, and I send ahead to tell my lord, to find favor in your eyes." And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We came to your brother, to Esau, and he is actually coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." And Jacob was greatly afraid, and he was distressed, and he divided the people that were with him, and the sheep and the cattle and the camels, into 2 camps. And he thought, should Esau come to one camp and strike it, the remaining camp will escape. And Jacob said, "God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, Yahweh, who has said to me, 'Return to your land and your birthplace, and I will deal well with you.' I am unworthy of all the kindness you have steadfastly done for your servant. For with my staff I crossed this Jordan, and now I have become 2 camps. Oh, save me from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he come and strike me, mother with sons. And you yourself said, 'I will surely deal well with you, and I will set your seed like the sand of the sea, multitudinous beyond all count.'" And he passed the same night there, and he took from what he had in hand a tribute to Esau his brother, 200 she-goats and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milch camels with their young, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses and 10 he-asses. And he put them in the hands of his servants, each herd by itself. And he said to his servants, "Pass on before me, and put distance between one herd and the next." And he charged the first one, saying, "When Esau my brother meets you and asks you, saying, 'Whose man are you, and where are you going, and whose are these herds before you?' you shall say, 'They are your servant Jacob's, a tribute sent to my lord Esau. And look, he is actually behind us.'" And he charged the second one as well, and also the third, indeed all those who went after the herd, saying, "In this fashion you shall speak to Esau when you find him. And you shall say, 'Look, your servant Jacob is actually behind us.' For he thought, 'Let me placate him with the tribute that goes before me, and after I shall look on his face. Perhaps he will show me a kindly face.' And the tribute passed on before him, and he spent that night in the camp. And he rose on that night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 slave girls, and his 11 boys, and he crossed over the Jabbok ford. And he took them and brought them across the stream, and he brought across all that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the break of dawn. And he saw that he had not won out against him, and he touched his hip socket. And Jacob's hip socket was wrenched, and he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, for dawn is breaking." And he said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." And he said to him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." And he said, "Not Jacob shall your name hence be said, but Israel. For you have striven with God and men, and won out." And Jacob asked and said, "Tell your name, pray." And he said, "Why should you ask my name?" And there he blessed him. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, meaning, "I have seen God face to face, and I came out alive." And the sun rose upon him as he passed Penuel, and he was limping on his hip. Therefore the children of Israel do not eat the sinew of the thigh which is by the hip socket to this day, for he had touched Jacob's hip socket at the sinew of the thigh.